As we look at how to propel humanity forward, we must first look at how to propel ourselves individually. I don't stand up here today because I dreamt of being a public speaker or that I've solved a major world issue. I think it's because I love to dance. And dance helped unlock something deep in my spirit, something important. There we go. Something important in my heart that helped me contribute to the spaces around me. My name is Courtney Celeste Spears, and I am a dancer and an educator. I was a performer with the globally celebrated Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, where I danced around the world, and it was quite literally the embodiment of my dreams coming true. But I had other dreams. I loved learning, I loved school, I loved books, I loved feeding my mind. And I always felt for a while that those two loves were fighting each other, that I had to choose between the thing that I loved and the thing that I was good at. And for a while, it was hard trying to find that balance. But I made it a point to never settle and to honor both of the passions inside of me. But before we get into that, I want you to think of that thing that lives in your heart, that thing that you love to do, that brings you so much inner joy, inner peace, and inner calm. Is it singing? Is it dancing? Is it cooking? Is it acting? Is it drawing? Is it going to an art gallery? Yes, those things that I listed could be considered hobbies. But what if I were here to tell you that they are far, far from that? What if I were here to tell you that they are a set of keys that were designed individually and perfectly for you to unlock your truest potential and to contribute to how you operate in the world every single day? For example, cooking has shown to have a direct benefit on our self-esteem. Now, self-esteem, as defined by the American Psychological Association, is when one's own characteristics are perceived by oneself to be positive. So self-esteem is not just being confident, but it's feeling like that your ideas and your contributions and who you are is valid and it means something. And I think that we all want a little bit of that as we go into every room. It's also shown in studies that people who go to art galleries and who allow their minds to sit there and wander and think about colors and shapes and characters and the artist and the character, that those people who sit and allow their minds to wander are actually shown to have better critical problem-solving skills. That because they allow their minds to be so free that they can look at any problem and come up with a more creative solution. It's also shown that drawing and coloring directly helps our heart health, that it allows for our blood pressure to go down, it keeps us calm, and it allows us to be a little bit more at peace. Now, I'm a bit more partial. I am a dancer, and I love dance. And I started dancing at the mature age of 2 years old, and my very first ballet shoes were from Payless. And dance, I could talk about it all day long, but what it gave me is just so indescribable. It gave me a sense of self. It gave me a sense of purpose and passion outside of my home. It was the first time I felt seen for who I was. And it was so incredible that I couldn't even describe it until many years later. And so I had a teacher who realized that this wasn't a hobby for me as well, that this was something that I loved. And she pushed me to go to a performing arts high school. I went to Baltimore School for the Arts, and then I went to Fordham University, where I was able to study at the Ailey-Fordham BFA program. And right around that college transition was where I saw the doubt start to creep in. Not from me, but from others around me. I got the question that a lot of artists are asked is, so what is your plan B? What are you going to do with that? How long can you do that for? Or my favorite, these crazy scenarios where if you walked on the side of the street, twisted your ankle, broke your knee, hurt your hip, what are you going to do after that? And I remember being like, why are you all asking me these questions? I love both. I didn't think of one as a plan B or one as being the only one. They were both feeding me. And so I made it that point with my liberal arts education to do my best to try and honor both. I remember I would get up, I would put on a ballet outfit, I'd put on a leotard and tights, I would go to my dance class, and I would have to stand there and only use my body to express who I was. I would then put on my regular clothes, run back to class, and then I would have to sit there and only use my mind and my voice. That duality was so powerful, and it started to change how I saw myself. I also had the opportunity to work for an amazing woman. She was the school administrator for our program, and she was so smart in ways that I was craving at the time, and I wanted to learn so much from her, and I would go after class, work, and learn about how to run a program. And so that wasn't just my college job, that was showing me how to look at something from a whole. While I was with Ailey 2, the junior company of Alvin Ailey, I worked with their public relations department, and I got to sit, and I would have to get there early, go to rehearsal, and go back. And at the time, that wasn't just an internship. That was me learning how to manage my time and see something through. And so I'm ready to graduate. I'm ready to step into the world. I'm so excited. And then reality hits. I can't get a job in the thing that I love most. I went to over 100 auditions. That is 100 no's, 100 cuts, over 100, we love you so much, but. Over 100, you would be a great fit for this company, but. Over 100 no's. Would you be able to step into a space if you were told that you weren't exactly the right fit over 100 times? And at that point in my life, I really wasn't. And I remember having this moment where I had to go, okay, is this what I'm really built for? I love this thing that was giving me my sense of self, but it wasn't loving me back. And I really looked at my life, and whether yours is dance or anything else, I think we've all sat in a space before we weren't sure if life was going to look like how we visioned, and it's a devastating feeling. And I remember sitting there and really pondering, and it was like a light bulb went off, that there was only one half of me that wasn't being honored. That dance was just one half, that was one passion. Over my entire life, I had been going into books, I had been learning, I had been using my time management, my administration skills, and that was just one passion of mine. It was so important that I stopped and I looked at it and I said, that is just one half of you. There's so much more out there for you to do, and my other passion saved me. And of course, after I made that realization to go off and do what I could, this happened. I went back to my home country. I started teaching. I started a company called Artsy Dance where I had the privilege of passing on that love of dance to so many students. I used my time management, my admin skills, my understanding of public relations, and my love of dance to give it back. And it made me step out of myself and think of it as the larger picture. And my other passion saved me. So what does this all mean? What is that thing living inside of you? Is it singing? Is it cooking? Is it acting? Is it teaching? Is it running? Is it painting? I urge you to not think of it as a hobby, but to think of it as your key to unlock who you are, and that will help you propel the spaces around you. I don't stand up here today because I have figured out all of the answers. I do think it's because I took a bet on myself to honor both of my passions, the two sides of who I am, and I decided to never settle. And I urge you to do the same. Thank you.